Welcome to the DV Show.
So in this presentation, we take an in-depth look at all of the secrets that I use to quickly and easily create compelling video content for Twitter. I'm going to include the analysis I've done over the years of the most popular online videos and all of the best tools to use that I have used through trial and error, condensed down to something easy that you can easily use. So at the end of this presentation, you're going to be an instant video professional with an entire production studio and power to broadcast and influence millions of Twitter users right at your fingertips. All right, so I think many of you today think that the challenge that you face as a business owner is the pressure to create long, rich content videos. Why? I mean, this was true back in the day of big equipment and long attention spans, but it's all a myth today. This is a barrier that you should bypass in the creation process because you probably think video production is scary, it's daunting, it's a huge learning curve, it's technical, you don't want to risk embarrassment, and even you think it's expensive to produce. Again, in this presentation, I'm going to open your eyes on how video production can be super simple without having to invest big time or money. And again, you're going to learn years of experience condensed into 30 minutes and how you can get content out by applying only 3 steps. That's it. 3 steps, no big equipment, no disruptions in business. Easy in and easy out. Creating video is so easy today. I'm actually going to attempt to create a video, edit it, and post it to Twitter in record time at the end of this presentation. So let's first go into these 3 steps. Keep in mind, this is not a big production. You're not Quentin Tarantino. You're trying to market something and drive traffic to it. You're using video to drive meaningful business, and there's no need for a huge production. So there's only 3 steps. Step 1, outline your goal. What are you looking to achieve with your video? Are you trying to make people laugh? Are you trying to get them to visit your website? Are you promoting your product? Are you teaching them something new? Defining your goal. Define your goal before you move on. Do this. It's important. Identify your target audience. Now, I can't say this any more than to video professionals and business people. I mean, if you're going to create content, talk to the people that it resonates with. Identify who you're talking to. Identify your target audience. Not having a clear vision of your ideal viewer will result in a diluted message within your video content. Your audience will determine the way you write your script, the way you shoot your video, and the way you edit it. And then the final step is actually starting your production, which is the fun stuff. This is when it all gets really, really cool. So let's go back to step 1 now, outlining your goal. Now, many of you trying to figure out, I mean, this is all about Twitter now. You're trying to figure out what platform would result in the best ROI. You're flipping back and forth from Facebook to Instagram to Snapchat to Twitter. So the first step really for you, as far as your goal goes, is to find out what type of videos you're going to create and then stick with a platform. Define your goal and what platform to commit before moving on. Now, for the sake of this summit, this webinar, we're focusing on Twitter, an entirely different platform, a different audience with a unique personality compared to the rest. It's an entirely different breed of users to deliver your content to. Let's get into some of these statistics of Twitter users. They absolutely love video, especially those who connect from their mobile devices. There's a whopping 90% of Twitter videos that are watched from mobile phones, and there are around 1.2 billion video views on Twitter per day. This is huge. Videos on Twitter generate 2.5 times more responses, 8 times more retweets with video, and 1.9 times more favorites. And look at this, 37% of Twitter users would like to see more Twitter videos from their favorite brands. They want this. They favor video 100%. It's pretty compelling data. And again, this likely comes as little surprise. If you're a business owner, you know that you need video. It's the best performing content type. But if you're still on the fence, if you're not sure about it, if you've been hesitating, I'm sure these stats alone will help in your decision-making process. And at the end of this webinar, you're going to see that video is so easy to make that you're going to plunge into video in no time and start growing your user base and your customers with video on the Bluebird platform. All right, so why do you want to create and use video on Twitter? Why would you want to do this? Well, to generate more responses, for one, which we talked about, generate more retweets, generate more favorites, increase visibility, increase engagement. Videos are really consumed fast. You improve the image of your brand. You increase the virality of your tweets. You give confidence and credibility for your brand, and they don't require much investment. So let's go to number 2. The second step you're going to do in the creation process and creating a video is identifying your target audience. This is so important, people. Creating content for somebody that you don't know or somebody that you have no relationship with is content that's not going to go anywhere. Your audience and understanding them is the key to great video. Great content starts with basic research and identification of who you are talking to. Now, I use marketing personas. It's a great place to kick off. If you're not familiar with a marketing persona, it's a term that's basically describing a fictional person, an average person in your audience to help you target your marketing more precisely. And the easiest place to start is your demographic data, like age, how old are the people that are watching, their gender, their marital status, their job role, and education. And with this deep understanding, you can create video content that focuses on your audience-specific pain points. And you can talk about how you're able to solve them. Knowing and identifying your audience is crucial. This is powerful stuff. So in this part of the presentation, I'm going to show you some years of compiled data and information that provides insight into creating content that speaks to the Twitter audience in general. It's about topics and ideas that you will know will resonate with the Twitter user. And again, getting to know your audience in depth will put your video content far ahead most of the competition. And this data that I'm going to start showing you is very, very important. It's generic data based on the average Twitter audience. It's specific to some extent, but it's the average Twitter user. Now, you must have a following on your own Twitter account, and your audience can get more specific and detailed, making your content more customized and driven by the data that you compiled from them. So, as part of this webinar, I have a free download for everyone who's watching called Ways to Develop Your Buyer Persona Using Twitter. It's going to help you craft your specific content for your audience. And again, Twitter is a gold mine when it comes to gaining knowledge about people's habits and behaviors. So again, I'll put a link for you to download this content available for everyone who's watching this webinar. So here we go. Who is the Twitter user? Who are they? Again, they are basically the quirky and informed type. And Twitter is basically a news feed on steroids. It serves as a platform primarily covering news, recent discoveries, upcoming events. Twitter is the perfect location for a brand that is both quirky and informed. And if you're not quirky or informed, become quirky or informed. Create a product that is quirky and informed. If your business is known for clever banter, quirky views on hot topics, and consistently being up to date with current events, Twitter is the ideal location. If your company is the quirky and informed type, you are in luck. All right, so let's take a look at more of the Twitter user. Who is this audience? 63% of them are between the ages of 35 and 65 years old. There are more males on Twitter, 66%, as opposed to female. And get this, they spend an average time on Twitter 3.39 minutes on the social networking platform per session. There's a little insight into who your persona is, who the Twitter user is. But that's not all. What keeps their attention is even more important. Now, this is some cool stuff that's coming up. Pay close attention to this. It's crucial information that will help guide you during the video production process. So the majority of Twitter users watch video content on Twitter, and most watch on a handheld device. I already talked about this. A staggering 93% happens on a mobile device, and they pay more attention to video that has branding in the first 5 seconds. It increases purchase intent by 9%. Then retention doubles when people or products are in the first few frames of your video. Again, this is the Twitter user. This is what captures their attention. This is the personality of the person on this platform. Now, if you show him human interaction or human desire for a product within your video, there's a 40% increase in responses. This is hard data, people. Know about this. This is cool stuff. And Twitter users watch videos with the sound off. Now, this is pretty general. They do it on Facebook and Instagram as well. So captions and visuals are very, very, very important. All right, let's go to the next thing here as far as what keeps a Twitter user's attention. Now, videos that are watched completely all the way through, that really just captivates the Twitter user, has something in common. The video included a sequential resolution. It's a sequential resolution video. It's basically a problem that's set up at the beginning and was solved in the end. 48% of Twitter users watched this in its entirety. 48%. This is huge. And this is the only time that you're going to be using the full 2 minutes and 20 seconds to tell a story. This is the only time you're going to be creating a video that long, is when it's a sequential resolution type video. All right, again, we're going to end this segment off, segment 2, with getting to know your audience in depth. It's going to put your video content far ahead in most of the competition. So rewind this. That's general information about your audience. So summing it up, the general audience, quirky and informed, they're news hungry. 35 and 65-year-old males, as opposed to females, dominate Twitter. They spend 3.39 minutes on the platform. They love watching videos, and videos that solve problems keep their attention for the entire length of time. Again, this is the general audience on Twitter. And to specifically go after your audience, to have data about them so you can speak to them, in addition to this, to get even more into their persona, ways to develop your buyer persona using Twitter is going to be within this webinar as you watch. Because again, Twitter is a gold mine when it comes to gaining knowledge about people's habits and behaviors. And you want to get to know them a little more so you can touch upon their pain points and you can basically have a relationship with them as far as your business goes. All right, let's get into the final step, starting the production. With all of that data, you are ready to start producing content that resonates with the Twitter audience. So, are you going to put branding in your video? Yes. Are you going to exclude captions and titles? No. So you know about your audience now. You're ready to produce video content that gets their attention and engages them while they're on Twitter. All right, so let's get into some tech specs as far as creating the video. It has to be at least on Twitter 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which is very, very good. It goes along with overall video viewing data. That 2.5 minutes is the total attention span for anyone who watches your videos online. And any content after that point, viewers start dropping off. So 2 minutes, 20 seconds is the total time that your video should be. If you have a 3-minute video, you have to cut it down. They're going to reject it. As far as the size of video, you have a portrait and landscape. The dimensions are there. I'm not going to get into the technical of it. You can see the visual. Those bigger ones are much better to have on Twitter because it captures the attention when they scroll. The smaller ones, that's okay too. But size does matter in order to get attention. And keep in mind, 93% of Twitter video views happen on mobile. I'm not going to stress that enough in this webinar. Mobile, mobile, mobile. Ensure your content works on mobile. So basically, what does that mean? Add closed captions or subtitles in case the sound is off, and test the video to ensure they look good on a mobile device. All right, so as far as the tech goes in the creation process, let's actually get into the creative process. Again, you have no need to produce a huge production. It doesn't have to be Steven Spielberg or Quentin Tarantino. It doesn't have to be something that's humongous. What you're simply doing is trying to market something. You're trying to drive traffic to your product or service. You're trying to build brand loyalty. You're trying to get attention to what you do, who you are. You're using video to drive meaningful business. No need for a huge discussion. So I'm going to cover some simple equipment and the 5 types of video in this segment of the webinar. You absolutely must create these types of videos, and there's just 5 of them. And keep in mind, apart from all of these choices and frequency and everything else, you have to create a video that resonates with your audience. That's the strongest thing to do. So when you gather footage, don't stress out too hard about what camera you're going to use, especially if you're just starting off. You don't need a $50,000 camera. You don't need a 4K or RED. You don't need a cinema camera. You don't need a digital camera. You don't need any of these. You're going to feel compelled to spend a lot of money on a high-quality video camera, but finding a decent camera to shoot quality video isn't hard at all. I have a Samsung phone that has an awesome camera on it. It shoots incredible video. And you can also use your iPhone 11, shoot some incredible videos. Some major motion picture films have been shot using an iPhone. Use it. You have this tool in front of you. This is it. Now, if you don't want to shoot any footage, if you don't think you're good enough, you can also go to one of these many free or paid stock footage sites and pick and choose existing footage that relates to your product and service, edit it up, and put it in there. Easy peasy. All right, so with all that data and knowing about our general audience, here are 5 types of videos that you must create on Twitter. Here are the 5 types. Number 1, a trending video. Take advantage of trending topics and make a video from it. Show your audience you're up to date and trendy. It's a great way to build loyalty and attention. This way, when users scroll their timeline, they can see your video and you'll reach more people. Attach onto trends. For example, Mike Pence in the debate, he had a fly on his head. If you're an exterminator, if you're a bug repellent, if you have anything to do with insects, bugs, anything like that, tap into that trending topic. Use the video. Use hashtags. Go in there. Use it. Collect attention for your product or service. All right. Second video that you absolutely must be creating for this audience is a teaser. It's a short 1 to 15 second video created only to drive brand reach and video. Teaser videos extend the reach of an existing campaign and complement broader messaging. There's no storytelling, no fancy video editing. You're forced to edit information down to a real key message. Those are one of my favorite types. Another one of my favorite types is question and answer type videos. Creating a Q&A video to respond to your followers' questions is a great way to connect with them, generate confidence, and increase interaction. And of course, you add hashtags to the text copy of your tweet so it can go further. You can even answer tweets with characters. Instead of just typing in, have someone on your staff or you yourself answer the question that a user has or somebody who has your product. Go ahead and answer questions. And then another one of my favorite is a tutorial or educational video. Twitter users love content that educates, adds value, and shows them how to do something new. And you have enough time to do that. Show them about your brand. Tell them something fascinating about the world. The secret here with this type of video is to be entertaining as well as informative. Listen to your audience. See what they want. Number 5, here's the 5th type of video, is a promotional video. Advertising your products or services. Do it in a short and fun way in order to attract their attention. So these are the 5 types of videos that you must be creating on Twitter. Now, when you create these videos, let's get into the rules of what makes these videos engaging. You're not just going to put like a 2-minute tutorial up there that's absolutely boring, or a trendy video up there that's boring, or a teaser video that's boring, or a Q&A video that's boring. There are rules to keep this engaging for this type of audience. And I'm going to give it to you. Rule number 1, keep it short. Videos with less text drive more attention for the video content. It's critical to stand out, grab attention quickly, and show branding in the first few moments. Videos should be kept short. On Twitter, here's a little graph showing that the shorter it is, the more effective and memorable your video is. Let's look at an example here of a teaser video. Remember, let's combine all of these things that I'm teaching together and apply it. And here's what Sunmade is doing. Twitter users watch these videos. This kind of stuff grabs their attention. And this is something from Sunmade. So let's go ahead and play this. And as you can see, it's very attention grabbing. It has their logo right in the beginning. The branding is right there in the first couple of seconds. People are interacting with the products. They're interacting and they have a desire for it. The only thing is that that's not included is the captions and visuals, but that's okay. You can kind of see the visuals there with the products. But they are applying the techniques that I'm telling you about here, which is really cool. All right, so let's go on to rule number 2. Include copy in your tweet. Copy is also known as text. The same practices apply to your accompanying tweet, as your video doesn't stand alone. Align your tweet with copy with the content of your video. Try to keep it under 100 characters and include hashtags, mentions, and further reach. Hashtags make it go a long way. So here's an example. This is engineering. Here's a tweet from them. Great use of hashtag. You go ahead and play the video. Perfect copy that accompanies the video. Never have your video stand alone. I mean, you can to kind of increase impact, but having that tweet makes it go a long way. Here's another tweet, and notice the included hashtag in this tweet's copy from Spindrift Pineapples. Hashtags can really help you get discovered by potential friends, followers, or customers. It's a really cool thing, so include copy. All right, number 3. The first few seconds of your video is crucial. We call it the sting. Really sell your product within this golden time frame. The first few seconds, that's it. It's like the photo or creative title on the front page of a newspaper or magazine that catches your eye while you walk by or you're standing in line at the checkout counter. Your video has to do the same. Grab that attention right within the first few seconds. It's called a sting. People can skip or scroll past your video at this point. Within that first few seconds, try to get your core message in there or reel them in to watch the rest of the video. It's really, really important. Let's see a sample here. It's an advertising. This is from Sleepgram. Now remember what Twitter users watch and what grabs their attention from a few slides back. Let's take a look at this video. Let's press play here. Again, attention grabbing first couple of seconds. Branding. Retention doubles. People or products are in the first few frames. Human interaction with the product. Captions and visuals are very important. Look at the captions go on here. And note that this is a sequential resolution video. A problem that's been set up at the beginning was solved in the end. Go ahead and get Sleepgram. There's bed bugs. I mean, you're going to sleep better. There's a problem that was presented, and the video is perfect. It's a perfect sequential resolution video. The problem was solved in the end. And notice the call to action in the tweet copy. Sleepgram.com/try sheets. Perfect. Applying all of the techniques I'm looking for here, and they have big engagement. All right, rule number 4 for these videos: grab and keep attention. Use bright images, bright scenes, clean faces, loud audio. This is very, very important. So if you grab their attention first within that sting, you have to kind of follow up a little bit and keep that attention. Have a good personality, bright graphics, quick cuts. Let's look at a video from Telemobile. And remember, again, what Twitter users watch, what they engage with. Attention-grabbing graphics, branding in the first few seconds, and people in the frames. And notice, again, that call to action in the tweet itself, the text itself. This is huge. Here, let's look at a video from Hello Kitty, a Hello Kitty bike. Notice the accompanying tweet copy, which is very, very important. And let's go ahead and play this video. Notice branding in the first few seconds, people in the first few frames, human interaction with the product. The only thing it doesn't include here is watching video with the sound off. Captions and visuals are important, but not necessary for that type of video. But perfect applies all of the techniques that I'm introducing to you. And look at that copy. Look at it. Perfect. They even include Walmart in there. I can just imagine 81 likes already on this one. All right, and then rule number 5, as far as the video goes, demonstrate a product which gives them the confidence to buy. Explain a service, being able to describe your service to a potential customer. But this in person is very difficult sometimes, so here's your chance to explain your service in very, very simple terms. Again, in the middle there. So you sting, you bring them in, and then you inform them. And then the next couple of seconds, you're like, hey, this is why I have you. And then keep it with a personality, graphics, quick cuts, good information. Solve a problem. Twitter users love it. Share your expertise during this time. Explain what makes your product or service different, how it's going to help them. Do it at this point in time in the video after you grab their attention. So here's a video from Zotpo. Take a look at this. Attention grabbing within the first couple of frames. There are people in this frame. The branding is there. People are using the product. There's no captions, unfortunately. And notice again that copy, that tweet. It has the get it, and then it has the URL, which is that call to action. Very, very, very important. Here's another one from Capital One Business. Perfect. Attention grabbing, and within the first few frames, there are people in the first few frames. Branding right there. They're watching, if you have the sound off, you know what's going on. The graphics are bright. Everything's moving around. It gets your attention. And then rule number 6, I've been talking about it in the previous videos. Include that call to action in your video or tweet copy. What action do you want them to take? I mean, after they watch your video, what do you want them to do? Include a link. Tell them to click through for more information. Share a special promo. Sell a product. Encourage your viewer to click, watch more, do something. Download a mobile app, shop now, purchase online. Do it. Always give your customers a way to respond. Always give them something at the end of the video. After they watch, what do? Don't leave anyone hanging. So here's a great example from Jane Goodall, Roots and Shoots. They use hashtags like crazy. Look at the little apes. They have 2.3 thousand views or million, whatever, 1,000 views. And it's an awesome, awesome little ad. Again, they're grabbing attention within the first few frames. Who doesn't want to click on a video with little cute monkeys in it? They have branding in the first few seconds. They show human interaction, human people. The sound is off. The captions are there. They have the Twitter hashtags and a call to action all at the same time. Another example of everything that I'm teaching, the techniques, perfect use of this. That call to action is right in the end. So again, sting, inform, call to action. Do that all within 2 minutes. Hopefully you do it within 15 seconds, but this is basically the formula. Sting, inform, call to action. 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 All right, so let's get some tools here. Let's talk about some tools to create your video, which is super easy today. Video production professionals are out of business. That's why it's so easy today. A lot of real estate people, marketing professionals, advertising professionals, sales professionals. You guys aren't video producers, but I'm going to show you some tools in this part of the presentation on what you can do to easily maximize engagement. And I also have some little known tools to help you appear at the top of search engines with your videos after uploading, especially when you're on Twitter. All right, so there are some easy to use online video editing tools, and each one of these has their pros and cons. So I'm going to take a look at Canva, Adobe Spark, Capwing, Animoto, FlexClip, and all have different levels of expertise. Some are easier to use than others. Some have subtle differences in the editor. which is a big deal. And some of these have different levels of difficulty. So you want to kind of get one that resonates with you and that's easy to use. But I'm not here to compare. I'm not here to compare any one of these, but these are the top 5 that you should be taking a look at. Go ahead and just do your own little research, click through and see which one's easier to use. The one for me, and the one I would recommend totally, is Canva. I personally like this product. They have more templates. The monthly fee is reasonable. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to use. So I'm going to challenge myself right now into making a very, very, very quick video. I'm going to show you how super easy this is to use. So I'm going to go into Canva itself, and hopefully it's up on my screen there. Yes, it is. I'm going to show you how super easy this is to use. So I'm going to go ahead and create a design. I'm going to do a video. This is amazing. They have all sorts of videos. I'm just going to pick something that is really super simple. I'm going to take the background out of this. I do like this part of it to put some text in there later on. I do like that a lot. And I'm basically going to resize this to fit on Twitter. It's going to be one of the landscape type ads or videos. I'm going to resize it so I can work within this. And then I'm going to kind of open this up a little more. So we could do 75% so you can see. And I'm going to put this down below. Actually, let's make this a little smaller so you can, there we go. Now, I uploaded some videos previously. I uploaded some logos, and I'm going to put that in there. This is absolutely fake. A fake company. It's called Job Hunt. Just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to put this up in here. And then I automatically uploaded some videos, and I'm going to put this one in here because it kind of relates to the job environment. Now, the time it takes to kind of search for videos and do that logo and everything else is probably going to be about 30 minutes. But for the sake of this webinar, I'm just going to have all the elements out on the table and then put them together, which are going to show you how easy this absolutely is. So I placed the video as the background. I put this over here, and then we're going to just kind of do like a catchphrase or something for this. Bye-bye. Do my call to action down here. Join our contest for a free, how about resume critique? How about that? That works. Now you notice this is 9.7 seconds. 9.7 seconds that this video is. We're going to take a look at it and see how it looks. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Very nice. All right, so we're going to download that onto my desktop. And upload it to Twitter. All right, so let's go into Twitter. Here's my Twitter account. And I have the access to Media Studio. I publish a lot, paid advertising on Twitter for webinars and so on through my account, which enables me to have this Media Studio. Now, there'll be more information on Media Studio and how you can gain access to it. I'll put a link to it in the webinar notes so you can have access to that as well. So I already uploaded the video to my Twitter library. Here it is. And it kind of gives you more detail on what we just created there, which is excellent. Now, here's where it gets really fun and why Media Studio is super, super, super cool. You have the settings in here, which are very important. This is adding metadata to your video. And why is metadata important? Well, for search engines, the more wording you put in here, the title, the description, the more it's going to be picked up by Google and other search engines. This is really, really important. Describing your video, putting, what kind of video it is. You can do, let's add another one in here. You can do as many as you want, describing it, news and current events. This is huge. Adding metadata to your video here in Media Studio is a secret many do not know about. You can also change your uploaded video's thumbnail, which is huge. So if I wanted to change a thumbnail, I just click on this, and this is all within Media Studio. I'm going to go ahead and tweet this, which gives me the tweet itself that's going to go out. And of course, you want to put some good copy in here with some mentions, some hashtags to accompany the video, just like the techniques that I was showing you here within this presentation. And then you pretty much just click tweet. It goes out on Twitter and you check it out. So go ahead and check out my feed on Twitter, and we'll see how many views this video has got and how many mentions that it has. It's very interesting to take a look at.